Hello and welcome. I'm your host Elizibar, and this is kind of a weird little video because I'm not really doing a review. Want to know what I think about Exilium? You should totally go check out the reviews of all the individual issues that exist. I'm sure you can find them. And if I'm clever, if I remember, I will put a link or something to them all down in the description below. If I remember, no guarantees because it's late at night and I'm tired, and who knows what brains do at this hour, right? But anyway, Exilium. It's a science fiction story, and I'm gonna butcher Ben's last name. Ben Slabak. I don't know. Ben. There we go. We'll just call him Ben. He's a pretty cool guy. He's pretty cool. Let me unplug my headset. Hopefully it doesn't beep at me. If it does, whatever. I'll just plug it back in. But until then, we'll just have to live with it. Now, I own this book in most of its currently possible forms. I have a graphic novel from Alterna. I got these self-published versions, also from the Kickstarter that funded the graphic novel. I bought this at a store at my local comic shop. I'm like, dude, you gotta get me this. You gotta get me this. You gotta get me this. Then I got these from the Kickstarter campaign because I didn't know any other way to get them. And of course, I own it all. 2 copies each in the Alterna newsprint editions. So kind of what I'm doing here isn't really to tell you about the story. Although it's a great story, it's a great like space opera, science fiction adventure. You got this crew of people. The ones on the cover of the graphic novel right here, who go to space, who go and to find the Exilium, the title, like the title society. And while they're there, they uncover mysteries, and they have a like danger, stress, and nothing is quite what it seems. And it's a pretty good yarn. And I think you should absolutely, if you haven't read it, you probably should just go read it right now. I'll be here. Here, I'll stop talking for like 5 seconds, so you have plenty of time to pause it, and I'll still be here after you've read all this, so you can come back and we can discuss what I want to talk about. Okay, there's your 5 seconds. So great. Now that you're back after having read this, cool. First thing I should point out is just in case you think I'm being bribed or whatever. In the interest of full disclosure, I think. Oh, you know what? Ben told me, and I've already forgotten. But he sent me these cards, and I don't think this was a normal reward in the Kickstarter. So if you think that it takes 9 trading cards to bribe me, okay, well then you now can believe my opinion has been skewed. But that came with my Kickstarter reward, so I had already bought this. I'd already pledged for the Kickstarter. I'd already pre-ordered the graphic novel, so it's not like we're getting a whole lot of stuff here. Now, first thing you're going to notice, right? First thing you're going to notice is the price point, right? I mean, you're looking at this. $1.50, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's the newsprint version. You look at the price point, the Cloud Comics, which I think is the self-published version, it's $5. And on the 6th issue, which is double size, it's $10. It's also square bound, which was crazy. I didn't like it square bound. I'll just straight up be honest. I didn't like it square bound. That was actually a problem I had reading it as the little alternate graphic novel. Is I didn't like it square bound so much because it doesn't want to lay flat, you know. Now I thought the book looked good on newsprint. I thought the coloring on newsprint. Oh, actually, this is probably a good page to show off because there's so much color here. You got this lush green of the ping pong tables. You got this yellow orange action background. You got the sepia tone down here. So take a look at that. Soak that into your brain. Page 13. Oh, there's a page number here, but there's not page numbers in the graphic novel. So bear with me while I slowly flip through, and I must have already passed up wherever that is. I feel like I'm halfway through the book. This is some pro level stuff. Oh, is the graphic novel actually organized differently or something? That looks so cool, doesn't it? Hello, ping pong tabling. Let's see. There's a flashback sequence. We're getting there. We're getting there. Ah, it's on a different page. Okay, that's kind of weird. Switching which side the page is on, but without like ads in there. Whatever. Now, I think you definitely have to say graphic novels art pops just a little more. Printed on this glossy paper, the colors come through a little crisper. Like here, this looks orange. Here, it looks more yellowish. It's brighter. It's brighter looking, but at the same time, it's no slouch over here. The sepia tone maybe looks a little muddy down here, and over here, it looks more like a photograph. Okay, I got too much stuff stacked up here. I got to move some of these things. Let me find that same page here in the self-published version. This is page 13. So should we like, okay. In hindsight, I probably, oh, look at that. So this and the trade are organized the same way. Now I'm suddenly wondering if I needed to just sit down and reread every version of all of this. Because, like, is there a page or something here that I totally am missing out on? Like why is this on the different side? I don't know. But you can see here, the self-published version cues very closely the graphic novel. This looks orangey. This is still orange, but it's more yellowy. At least to my eyes. Oh, interesting. Well, the sepia tone looks very sepia tone. The green ping pong tables is actually less green with the coloring work here. We're really getting into the weeds here, but this is why I backed this. I wanted to see this, all these different configurations. So far, I'm pretty sure I like it best as a newsprint comic. But boy, it sure does look good. Oh my gosh, there it is. It sure does look good here. Let's look. Let's look. You can't even see what I'm looking at because it's oh, all these things. These books, the self-published ones, don't want to stay open. The newsprint ones, they totally want to stay open. It's way, you know what? The coloring over here in the graphic novel, it's way more vibrant. I prefer it over the self-published version. I don't know if it's the difference is coming through that clearly in the camera, but to the eye, this is way more alive. I think this is colored with the same color. Like the process here took the newsprint color and like amped it up or something. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know enough about coloring processes to really tell you. But I think the graphic novel, the Alterna graphic novel, is probably like the best edition for just looking at. Everything in it just pops. I'm never going to find this two-page spread. The downside is this is a two-page spread. It's got a fold in the middle of it. This is what, issue 3? Probably towards the end of the book. Ah, yep, I called it. So even the self-published version kind of has that problem. It just wants to close back up on itself. Let's find that issue newsprint. Take a look at it. I know this is a weird video, but we're comparatoring, something like that. We're actively making a comparison, and I'm trying to figure out which way I like this the best. I didn't come into this like super preconceived, right? Like that wouldn't have been fair if I just came in and told you like, hey guys, the newsprint is the best. I like the newsprint because it opens up the best. All right, so that was towards the end of this issue. Yeah, see, there's Taru, and he's getting ready to pull up the globe thing. Probably next page over. Yeah, there it is. See, well, even this doesn't want to lay that flat. I'd have to push it down, which is something I wouldn't dare do to the self-published version. So maybe this book has advantage there. I'm trying to find that place in the graphic novel again. So, graphic novel version definitely pops a little more. The colors are a little richer, a little more vibrant. And I guess that's not really a surprise, right? Newsprint gets oversaturated easily, use too much ink, looks bad. But having said that, I would hold Exilium up as a great example of what coloring on newsprint should look like. All these different versions of it are all colored good, colored well. That's probably better English. They are colored well, and I don't have any complaints about the coloring in any of them. The newsprint one looks fantastic for newsprint. Well, no, let me take it back. It looks fantastic. As a newsprint comic, it's even more fantastic. Uh, One thing I do like, and say this is we're getting into subjective experiences, trade dress. Not necessarily the alternative comics up here, but I do like corner boxes. No corner box. Oh, how much alteration did they have to do to this title? They totally had to move this over. See that? But see, we have a logo down here. I don't like that as much. Logos, I'm old school. It belongs in the top corner. And then you got like the Peter Simeti like blurb stuff, and I just eat that up. I also like seeing credits on the cover. There's no credit on the cover here. I open it up. Well, I can't even get to the inside front cover. I opened it up and the page is stuck. There we go. Like static cling or something. You gotta flip it open like this to get to that. I don't know, man. I don't know. I like these, but I'm not sure if in a world where I had to choose, if I would choose this version. Because while it's nice, and while there are places where the colors look really darn good there, I don't know that I like it better than I like the newsprint. Look how much more space these take up. It's because the book has, it doesn't want to fold neatly. You see that? It's always got a gap. The newsprint comics don't have that gap. But you know what? If I was cost conscious and I wanted something where the colors popped even more than on the newsprint, something where the color is bright like on glossy, I'd get the trade. It's smaller, like all alternate trades, which is kind of a negative. Let's clear this table off. Make some room. Not make some. I almost said make some noise. That's clearly not what I want to do because it's the middle of the night. Make a little room here, and let you look. So you can see standard comic book size. The alternate trade's a little smaller. It's like $17 for the trade. The floppy issues, which I don't know if they're in or being reprinted or anything like that. I sure hope they are. I hope Exilium stays in print. If it's not coming up for the In Case You Missed It series, it absolutely should. In fact, Peter Simeti probably needs to do like an In Case You Missed It like twice a month, like make it bi-weekly or something. That way people can get into all these things that they probably have missed in the past. But whatever the case, Exilium I hope gets reprinted by Alterna. So it's $1.50 for 5 issues. That's $7.50. And it's $2 for the double-sized 6th issue. That's $9.50. So like $10, you can get the floppies on newsprint. You can spend $17 and get it on some more durable, glossier paper that helps make the colors a little brighter. Or you can totally splurge, get the the boutique, handcrafted, artisanal, self-published Cloud Comics version. I think the final analysis, that's actually the version that loses, and it kind of is gonna. It comes down to a tie here. It totally ties up between graphic novel, which has slightly better coloring, I think, than what we were seeing in the self-published version, or newsprint, which is just a bargain. You can't beat it. It looks great. It reads great. Well, okay, that's true for all of these, but the newsprint for $1 versus $5 for the self-published version looks great. It reads great. It's got all the same great stuff. The coloring is just as good. I think that one page I was looking at, I think it's like I said something like the newsprint seemed more vibrant. Like, how is that possible? I don't know. Whoever was redoing the print files for the newsprint, great job. You totally nailed it. Yeah, I did see Ben had posted on Twitter. There is a Hindi translation of this coming out. He showed the cover of that. That is really exciting. Ben, I'm so sorry, man. I absolutely cannot justify buying yet another copy of Exilium. Uh, not only am I going to run out of room in my closet full of comic books, but gosh, that international shipping is just going to be murder. So I don't think I'm going to continue collecting every edition of Exilium that comes out, but I'm really happy to have the three editions that I do have. It's fantastic, and I think you kind of get my point here. Being able to open stuff up really well, I think, is kind of key. The newsprint, I think, is a little bit better for that. Even though naturally the paper didn't want to fold that way, I'm not so worried about like damaging the paper like I am with the glossy. The glossy stock is heavier stock. It's tougher stock. It's not actually going to live up or like live in that world as easily. Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna bounce. I've been yakking up a storm about the same comic book in three different formats for I don't know how long I've been going here. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I gotta bag these up at some point, you know. But you all take care of yourselves, and I sure hope that I get to see you next time. And until then, bye bye.